that this is the end of the Diddy story as we know it.
That's of course. There's layers upon layers. When you get into these conspiracy theories, man, they never end. They never end. There's just layers upon layers upon layers.
Should Diddy, once a towering figure in the entertainment industry, now finds himself behind bars facing charges that have sent shockwaves through celebrity culture. Known for his extravagant lifestyle filled with luxury yachts, private jets, and glamorous parties, Diddy is now experiencing a starkly different reality. Recent rumors have emerged that he was attacked while incarcerated, raising concerns about his safety and the potential implications for his case. This alleged incident could dramatically alter the trajectory of an already explosive saga as the music mogul navigates the harsh realities of prison life. The unfolding drama has captivated fans and industry insiders alike, leaving many to speculate about the future of a once untouchable icon.
Took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs.
Diddy's arrest in September 2024 made headlines due to its shocking nature as he faced federal charges related to years of alleged unspeakable behavior. Charges many believed would finally bring him down after decades of misconduct. However, what followed his incarceration was unexpected. Reports indicate that Diddy was moved from protective custody to the general prison population at the Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, in Brooklyn, a decision critics are labeling a colossal mistake. It's in this new environment that things reportedly took a terrifying turn for the music mogul, heightening concerns about his safety and the potential fallout from his controversial presence among other inmates.
And Stacey, you say today's indictment reads like a mob indictment. What was most shocking to you of all these allegations?
Yeah, the fact, Jake, that the government in this indictment presented evidence alleging that Sean Combs was running a criminal enterprise.
Insiders are whispering that following a conflict with a powerful group inside the prison, Diddy was reportedly assaulted in an incident far more disturbing than a simple altercation. Sources suggest that prison authorities are attempting to hush up the incident, desperate to avoid the massive fallout that would come from admitting they failed to protect one of the country's highest-profile prisoners. The prison's reputation is already marred by a history of violence, mismanagement, and unsafe conditions, making another scandal potentially catastrophic for those in charge. If these rumors hold any truth, it sheds light on why Diddy's legal team is aggressively pushing for his release on bail. The stakes are incredibly high, as the implications of this incident could reverberate beyond the walls of the prison, impacting Diddy's future and the institution's credibility.
They're going to try everything. They're going to try to transfer him. They're going to try to get him out. You know, in a normal case where it's a high-profile person or a well-funded person, the prosecution and the judge is a little bit more concerned about a wrongful prosecution because people that are mad that they're being arrested for a crime they didn't commit can turn around and file for malicious prosecution.
Diddy's legal team is reportedly furious and vocal about the situation. According to sources close to the case, his lawyers have filed an emergency motion demanding his immediate release on bail, citing the clear and present danger he faces while incarcerated. One insider noted, "This should never have happened, and now we have to deal with the consequences of this catastrophic error." The motion, which is expected to be reviewed soon, could potentially free Diddy from what his team describes as a life-threatening situation. They argue that given his high-profile status and the nature of the charges against him, keeping him in prison poses a greater risk than previously understood, intensifying the urgency of their request for bail.
Special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown unit, which means that any movement within that unit is controlled and coordinated, and no inmate moves outside of his cell without being in full restraints, to include leg irons, handcuffs, a belly chain, and at least 2, if not 3 staff members escorting them.
Let's take a moment to discuss the MDC, the facility where Diddy's legal nightmare is unfolding. The Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn is no ordinary prison. It has earned a reputation as one of the toughest federal detention centers in the country. This facility is notorious for violence, mistreatment, and overall chaos, creating an environment far from secure. While high-profile inmates like Diddy are expected to be kept safe from the general population, recent reports suggest that this safety may be nothing more than an illusion. The alarming stories emerging from within the MDC highlight serious concerns about inmate protection and the harsh realities of life behind bars, casting doubt on the facility's ability to safeguard even its most prominent residents.
Every jail is bad, and some jails are worse than others. And the problem, again, is if you move him, why is he getting special treatment? And maybe he's earned special treatment. Maybe what he's done, maybe he's given so much back to his fans and to the world and to charity that maybe there's a way that it plays out in the end. But again, to go into court and say this jail is bad, move him to another jail, is not your first argument. That's sort of the...
Numerous reports over the years have highlighted violent incidents at the MDC where several inmates have tragically lost their lives during brawls or suffered fatal injuries at the hands of other prisoners. In 2020, for instance, the facility made headlines when an inmate died following a violent confrontation, prompting widespread outrage over the deplorable conditions inside. Coupled with disturbing accounts of inadequate medical care, severe overcrowding, and deteriorating infrastructure, it's clear why Diddy's legal team is fighting tooth and nail to secure his release. The alarming environment within the MDC raises significant concerns about the safety and well-being of all inmates, particularly high-profile individuals like Diddy.
Well, Sierra, anything's possible, right? But now this judge has an even harder time, I think, because the past judge locked him up, didn't let him out, and he's still there available for trial. If the new judge lets him out on bond and something goes wrong, and this isn't the analysis that I'm proud to make, right? We shouldn't be saying, well, judges are worried about their own skin and how they look if something bad happens.
To make matters worse, the MDC has faced criticism for its inadequate staffing and failure to protect inmates from both physical and emotional harm. During the height of the pandemic, the facility experienced significant outbreaks, leading to reports of inmates being kept in lockdown for extended periods with little access to basic necessities like showers or communication with the outside world. This troubling history intensifies concerns for Diddy's well-being, especially given the volatile nature of his high-profile case. The lack of proper care and the potential for further unrest in such an unstable environment make his situation increasingly precarious, highlighting the urgent need for his legal team's efforts to secure his release.
This has to be a 100% culture shock. I can't imagine living a lifestyle of the incredibly rich and famous and then going into this very dark, impersonal, cold, austere facility.
What exactly happened to Diddy inside the MDC remains somewhat unclear, but multiple sources indicate that a confrontation occurred with a group of inmates who allegedly exploited the fact that he was no longer in protective custody. Some reports suggest that Diddy was involved in a verbal altercation that quickly escalated, while others hint at the possibility of a premeditated attack, potentially orchestrated by rival factions within the prison who viewed Diddy's presence as an opportunity to make a statement. The lack of clarity surrounding the incident only adds to the concern for his safety and raises questions about the security measures in place to protect high-profile inmates in such a volatile environment.
And a lot of the evidence, alleged evidence, that's been gathered in this case was from those two raids that were conducted on his personal homes in Miami and Los Angeles. And the indictment names the things seized that he allegedly made videos of these performances that have been named freak-offs.
One thing is clear. Whatever transpired inside the prison was serious enough for Diddy's legal team to take a proactive stance. They are arguing that the prison failed to protect their client, who now faces even greater danger than before. Meanwhile, the MDC is remaining tight-lipped, refusing to comment on the assault allegations or any actions taken in response. Those familiar with the facility's inner workings suspect that the MDC may be trying to cover up their mistakes, hoping to avert a full-blown scandal that could lead to significant repercussions for those at the highest levels of the institution. The growing tension and unanswered questions surrounding Diddy's situation only amplify the urgency for clarity and accountability.
Clients describe MDC as hell, as the worst conditions they've been in.
It's not just Diddy's team that is speaking out. Prison insiders are beginning to leak information suggesting that this situation was a disaster waiting to happen. One insider stated, "He should never have been moved into the general population. Everyone knew this was a risk. He's a huge target." Another source indicated that the prison is now scrambling to repair the damage, with some suggesting that heads may already be rolling behind the scenes. This internal turmoil reflects the growing concern over Diddy's safety and the broader implications of the facility's mismanagement, further complicating an already precarious situation for all involved.
There's no way they can't move him to general population. And would he be at risk? Sure, he'd be at risk. There's so many people that have nothing to lose, right? They're going to be in jail the rest of their life. They've got nothing to. They want their 15 minutes of fame. They were friends with Diddy, or they hurt Diddy, or they killed Diddy, or they did. I mean, there's so many, people in jail that this would be their moment. You can't put them there. Plus,
as Diddy's lawyers fight for his release, there's another side to the story that can't be ignored: the public reaction. Diddy's arrest has polarized fans and critics alike. On one hand, his supporters are horrified by the rumors of his assault and are calling for justice, while on the other hand, some believe that his current situation is simply karma catching up with him. This is a man who has faced accusations of some of the most heinous crimes imaginable, and for many, the idea that he's now suffering behind bars feels like a form of justice being served. The divergent opinions reflect broader societal attitudes towards accountability, complicating the narrative surrounding his case and the unfolding events within the prison.
We all saw it posted yesterday all over our social media pages. Cassie filed a lawsuit in New York City against Diddy.
Yikes.
She's claiming she was stuck in a decade-long cycle of abuse.
Some of Diddy's harshest critics argue that he deserves what's happening to him, given the long list of allegations that have followed him for years. It's important to note that the charges against Diddy are not your typical legal troubles. They involve deeply disturbing accusations of abuse and violence. These allegations have painted a dark picture of a man who once seemed untouchable. For years, Diddy was synonymous with success, wealth, and influence, but beneath the glitz and glamour lies a troubling side that is only now coming to light. As the public grapples with these revelations, the narrative surrounding Diddy shifts dramatically, forcing many to reconsider their perceptions of him and the implications of his past actions.
And in this lawsuit, he claims that essentially P. Diddy was the Epstein of the rap industry.
The first major crack in Diddy's public persona emerged in November 2023 when his ex-girlfriend Cassie filed a bombshell lawsuit accusing him of years of abuse. Her lawsuit, submitted just before the expiration of New York's Adult Survivors Act, detailed a decade of horrors that shocked even the most cynical observers. Cassie described a relationship in which Diddy allegedly controlled every aspect of her life, from her career to her personal freedom. This was just the beginning. Since then, more women have come forward, each sharing their own harrowing stories of encounters with the music mogul. These allegations have significantly tarnished Diddy's image, revealing a disturbing pattern of behavior that challenges the narrative of success and power he has long cultivated.
He controlled every aspect of her life. He is accused of frequently beating her and would hide her in hotel rooms for days until the bruising and signs of abuse were gone.
Cassie's suit may have been settled quickly, but it opened the floodgates to a wave of new allegations in the following months. Each revelation painted an increasingly damning picture of Diddy's behavior. One accuser claimed that he had violated her in the early 1990s, while another alleged that he forced her into humiliating situations involving multiple individuals. As the accusations continued to pile up, Diddy found himself facing lawsuits from multiple women, each demanding justice for the trauma they had endured. This surge of allegations has dramatically reshaped the narrative surrounding Diddy, exposing a troubling history that challenges the carefully crafted image he maintained for years.
Replete with very, very serious and salacious allegations, including allegations that Combs had cameras throughout his homes where he videotaped.
In early 2024, former associate Rodney Lil Rod Jones came forward with shocking revelations about Diddy's behavior. Jones, who had worked closely with Diddy on his latest album, described an environment dominated by indulgence and exploitation. He claimed he was pressured to procure individuals for Diddy's infamous gatherings, and even more disturbingly, that he was forced to engage in similar acts. Jones's lawsuit provided a chilling glimpse into a world that had long been hidden from the public eye, suggesting a troubling culture surrounding Diddy that extended beyond the allegations made by women. This account further complicates the narrative of Diddy's life, revealing a pervasive atmosphere of manipulation and abuse that calls into question his status as a music mogul.
And I remember, like, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but like, I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside.
In light of all these allegations, it's easy to understand why many are questioning whether Diddy's current situation is, in fact, karma for years of alleged wrongdoing. For some, the notion that he is suffering in prison feels like poetic justice, a fitting end for a man they believe has evaded accountability for far too long. Critics argue that Diddy's wealth and influence have shielded him from facing the consequences of his actions, allowing him to escape scrutiny while his victims are left to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives. This perspective not only highlights the growing outrage surrounding his case, but also reflects a broader societal desire for accountability among powerful figures who have long remained untouchable.
I mean, it's a legitimate concern. You know, no judge wants to wake up and read the headlines the next day, oh, they treated this guy special and they gave him bond, and now he's gone and he fled from justice. So that's what's in the back of most judges' minds. On the other hand, you know, we deal with cases where clients have significant funds sometimes. And sometimes where there's money, you can craft a unique solution. You know, years ago it was the ankle bracelet and the ankle monitor.
Diddy's legal team is working around the clock to secure his release, but while public opinion remains divided, one thing is certain: his legal troubles are far from over. Rumors about his time in prison continue to circulate, adding to the complexity of his situation. Whether his team will ultimately succeed in getting him out remains to be seen, but it's clear that this story is far from finished. The unfolding drama, coupled with the serious allegations against him, ensures that Diddy's saga will keep drawing attention as new developments emerge.
Is he going to be in jail in this facility until the trial begins? Is there a chance he could, get moved earlier than that? As of this moment, as of this hour, as of today, yes. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to be appealing this thing next to the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to overturn the judge's order here to try and get him actually released.
As Diddy awaits his next court appearance, the world is watching closely, eager to see how this chapter in his life will unfold. Will he be granted bail and return to his life of luxury, or will the mounting allegations complicate his release even further? One thing is certain: this case is poised to become increasingly complex, and the truth about what really happened behind those prison walls may finally come to light. With public scrutiny intensifying and new developments on the horizon, all eyes remain on Diddy as his legal battles continue to unfold.
And, you know, it brings into context our whole system of innocent until proven guilty. Why is he not being given bond? And, you know, we could debate that all day long. Of all people that's unlikely to flee or get away, well, he's got the resources to flee, but he's so recognizable. And isn't he innocent until proven guilty? Well, yeah, but, you know, we have to recognize there are degrees of innocent until proven guilty.
While the recent lawsuits against Diddy have shocked many, they are far from the first dark clouds to gather over his name. In fact, a closer look at Diddy's past reveals that controversy has followed him throughout his entire career. From the very start of his rise in the entertainment industry, Diddy, once known as Puff Daddy, seemed to attract trouble. These latest lawsuits are just the most recent chapter in a long narrative filled with violence, manipulation, and some of the most notorious parties the industry has ever seen. As the allegations continue to unfold, they only serve to highlight the tumultuous history that has long been intertwined with Diddy's persona.
The rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
That's the rumors, yeah. I don't know that there's any proof or anything other than that.
Diddy's ascent to fame began in the early 90s when he started as an intern at Uptown Records, quickly rising through the ranks due to his charisma, ambition, and keen eye for talent. However, even in those early days, his drive was accompanied by a darker edge. His tenure at Uptown ended abruptly in 1993 when he was fired, leaving the reasons behind his departure shrouded in mystery, with rumors of disagreements, power struggles, and behind-the-scenes tensions circulating. Shortly after, he launched Bad Boy Records, marking the true beginning of his reign in the music industry. With Bad Boy, Diddy built an undeniably influential empire, launching the careers of some of hip-hop's biggest names, including the Notorious Big, Faith Evans, and Maze. However, alongside his musical successes, there were constant whispers about his behavior, both professionally and personally. Many who worked with him described a volatile personality, someone willing to go to great lengths to achieve his goals. Behind the scenes, Diddy was portrayed as ruthless and controlling, often bending or breaking the rules to suit his interests. This blend of ambition and controversy has long defined Diddy's career, laying the groundwork for the tumultuous events that would follow.
Now you got the Diddy situation where he jumps on a private jet, they say yesterday, and is on his way to the Cape Verde Islands.
Diddy's ascent to fame began in the early 90s when he started as an intern at Uptown Records, quickly rising through the ranks due to his charisma, ambition, and keen eye for talent. However, even in those early days, his drive was accompanied by a darker edge. His tenure at Uptown ended abruptly in 1993 when he was fired, leaving the reasons behind his departure shrouded in mystery, with rumors of disagreements, power struggles, and behind-the-scenes tensions circulating. Shortly after, he launched Bad Boy Records, marking the true beginning of his reign in the music industry. With Bad Boy, Diddy built an undeniably influential empire, launching the careers of some of hip-hop's biggest names, including the Notorious Big, Faith Evans, and Maze. However, alongside his musical successes, there were constant whispers about his behavior, both professionally and personally. Many who worked with him described a volatile personality, someone willing to go to great lengths to achieve his goals. Behind the scenes, Diddy was portrayed as ruthless and controlling, often bending or breaking the rules to suit his interests. This blend of ambition and controversy has long defined Diddy's career, laying the groundwork for the tumultuous events that would follow.
I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
The most infamous incident tied to Diddy's early career, and perhaps the moment that first cemented his reputation for violence, was the 1999 nightclub shooting in Manhattan. Diddy and then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez were at Club New York when a fight broke out, leading to shots being fired and 3 people being injured. The chaos that ensued left an indelible mark on Diddy's career. He was arrested, and although he was ultimately acquitted of all charges, the trial became a media circus. While Diddy managed to evade legal consequences, the public's perception of him was forever altered. Many began to see him not just as a successful businessman, but as someone with dangerous connections and a troubling penchant for attracting violence. This incident marked a pivotal shift in how Diddy was viewed, transforming him from a rising star into a figure shrouded in controversy and risk, a narrative that would continue to follow him throughout his career.
Not only should he have apologized to Kathy in that video, he should have apologized to all of the general public that he lied to.
Yeah.
You sat there and you tried.
The nightclub incident wasn't an isolated event. Diddy's connection to violence seemed to resurface repeatedly over the years. There were always stories, often whispered but rarely confirmed, about confrontations with other artists, physical altercations, and threats made behind closed doors. Those in the industry understood that crossing Diddy wasn't a smart move, with rumors suggesting he had no qualms about using intimidation to achieve his goals. While he projected the image of a charismatic mogul in public, behind the scenes, many described him as a bully who wielded his wealth and influence to control those around him. This pattern of behavior only added to the complex narrative surrounding Diddy, painting a picture of a man whose success was intertwined with a troubling undercurrent of aggression and dominance.
There are some problems that the defense has brought up originally, but it seems like, just from reading this 14-page indictment, that there is enough physical evidence to perhaps get a conviction in this case. We shall see. These are allegations.
Even Diddy's business dealings have often been mired in controversy, exemplified by his long-standing feud with rapper Shyne, who was with Diddy on the night of the 1999 shooting. Shyne ended up serving a prison sentence for his role in the incident, leading many to believe he took the fall for Diddy. Speculation has persisted that Diddy used his power to shift blame and evade accountability, leaving others to bear the consequences of his actions. Whether or not these claims hold true, it's clear that Diddy has consistently managed to stay one step ahead of legal trouble, even as those around him suffered the fallout. This ability to navigate precarious situations has only added to the complex and often troubling narrative surrounding his career, raising questions about the lengths he might go to protect his image and interests.
That's not the issue. The issue is, it seems as though he wants to kind of like exert power and dominance over people who.
But if there's one area of Diddy's life that truly embodies the darker side of his persona, it's the infamous parties that became his signature over the years. These weren't just gatherings, they were spectacles meticulously crafted to showcase his wealth, power, and control over the music industry. The guest lists resembled a who's who of Hollywood and hip-hop, with celebrities, models, and high-profile figures all eager to attend. However, behind the glamour and luxury, these parties often descended into chaos and excess. Guests reported being plied with substances, and there were persistent rumors about what transpired in private rooms after the main event. Diddy's gatherings were notorious for pushing boundaries, and for many, attending these events came with the risk of getting caught up in uncontrollable situations. Perhaps the most telling aspect of these parties was the power dynamic at play. Everyone knew Diddy was the king of his domain, and he used these events to reinforce that status. Attendees were often expected to comply with his whims, and stepping out of line could mean losing access to his influential circle. Many young artists and up-and-comers left these gatherings with their careers and reputations damaged, underscoring that these parties were not merely social events but power plays designed to assert Diddy's dominance over the industry.
It's just interesting to me that with all the money he has and all the resources he has, they couldn't craft some solution that lets him be under some form of house arrest. And again, it sounds like special treatment, but the truth of the matter is, to incarcerate somebody like him is expensive to all of us. We're taxpayers, and he's got to have unique situations. You can't put him in general population where, everyone wants a piece of him and everyone wants to be his friend and everyone.
It's not surprising that as the years went on, the whispers about Diddy's behavior grew louder. Stories about his treatment of those around him, especially women, began to surface with increasing frequency. Long before Cassie's lawsuit, there were constant rumors of Diddy's relationships being marked by control and manipulation. This behavior extended beyond his romantic entanglements. Diddy was known for treating those in his professional orbit with the same iron fist. Artists who signed with Bad Boy often found themselves in contracts that benefited Diddy far more than themselves, and when they attempted to break free, they frequently faced legal battles and public smear campaigns that underscored his immense power. One glaring example of Diddy's control over his artists is the case of Diddy Kane, the girl group he formed on the reality show Asterisk, making the band Asterisk. While the group experienced moderate success, behind the scenes, it was clear Diddy was pulling the strings. Members of the group have since spoken out about the difficulties of working under him, with Don Richard in particular describing a toxic environment where Diddy exerted complete control over their careers and lives. Ultimately, the group imploded, with many attributing their downfall to Diddy's heavy-handed management.
And I remember, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside.
The controversies didn't end with Diddy Kane. Over the years, other artists who worked with Diddy have come forward with similar stories, describing contracts that locked them into deals far more beneficial to Diddy than to themselves. Some artists even claimed that Diddy would take credit for work he had little involvement in, ensuring that his name and profits were always front and center. The music industry is notoriously cutthroat, but Diddy's methods often went beyond typical business practices, leaving a trail of disgruntled former collaborators in his wake. Many have expressed frustration and resentment over how their contributions were overshadowed, further fueling the narrative of a man willing to exploit those around him for personal gain. This pattern of behavior not only tarnished Diddy's reputation, but also highlighted a pervasive culture of manipulation and control that has long been associated with his career.
Well, either way, if you got to run to a private island because your evil doings are doing so much and they storming your house, it's one of these.
All of this, the violence, control, and manipulation, paints a picture of someone who has long used his power and influence to operate above the rules. While the recent lawsuits have brought some allegations into the public eye, for those who have closely followed Diddy's career, none of this is particularly surprising. The truth is, Diddy has been playing this game for a long time and has been incredibly adept at staying one step ahead of the consequences. This brings us to the present moment, where Diddy faces a mountain of legal trouble, and if rumors are to be believed, personal danger behind bars. For many, it's hard to feel sympathy for someone who has spent decades allegedly abusing his power and mistreating those around him. Stories emerging from the Metropolitan Detention Center add another layer to the narrative that has been building around Diddy for years, a narrative of someone who has long avoided accountability. The recent lawsuits and prison rumors may be the final pieces of a puzzle that has been taking shape for years. While Diddy's supporters call for his release and his legal team fights to protect him, there's a growing sense that this is simply the inevitable result of years of unchecked power and privilege. Diddy built an empire, but the foundations were always shaky, rooted in a history of scandal, violence, and control. Now, as the walls close in around him, it seems the past is finally catching up with one of the most powerful figures in the music industry.
Now, if the government is going to mandate that they are responsible for your well-being, they have to ensure the safety of your well-being.
The question now is whether Diddy will finally face the consequences of his actions or, like so many times before, find a way to escape unscathed. One thing is certain, for a man who has spent his life navigating the game of power, the stakes have never been higher. So what do you think? Is this just karma catching up with Diddy, or do you believe he's being unfairly targeted? Do you think his legal team will succeed in getting him out on bail, or is this the beginning of the end for one of the most powerful figures in entertainment? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.